Today we're going to learn how to make a meal in a jar, also called a burrito in a jar, but it can be used for several different things. For this recipe, you will need the meat of your choice, beans, rice, some vegetables of your choice, and seasonings. The first step is to season and brown your ground meat. I do this in my little cast iron pan. It makes it very, very quick. We like to have some really bold seasonings here. Add a little bit of water to help the meat get going and brown. After the meat has been drained and cooled, I prepared jars in the preheat setting on my canner. I use the small jars for lunches, usually one person serving, and then the taller jars I use when my husband's home and we do like a 2-people thing or a larger lunch kind of thing. For this one, we are simply layering the soaked beans, about 1/4 cup, a little bit less usually. Those are soaked for a few minutes, 30 minutes or more, to give them a good head start. Layer that with your rice. It is just regular rice. It will be very, very soft in the jar, but that is never an issue. I'm also going to add in some slices of onion, some fresh cilantro, and some pre-packaged pico de gallo that has onions, tomatoes, jalapenos, and cilantro in it. It's a really good way to kind of cheat a little bit, make it a little more convenient. You can add any items that you want here to customize this idea. When adding in your ingredients, it's important to be sure to keep the rims of your jars very, very clean. I've been canning for many, many years and don't typically use a funnel unless it's something that I'm just really particular about. Here we have the fat from the hamburger to be sure that it is not on the rim of the jar, which will impact your seals. I also wipe down the jars at the end. I do that with every session. The more neatly you pack your jars, the easier the cleanup will be and the better chance of having a good seal. Top these off with water. You can use stock or broth, and that will just up the flavor. If you have leftover stock or something when you've cooked meat or something, that would give it a delicious flavor. Here I'm just going pretty simple with water, debubbling, being very careful not to interrupt those gorgeous layers. I love to see those layers on my canning shelves. Again, I go in and wipe those rims super, super clean. Make sure there's no food or oil that has gotten on there from any of the ingredients I put in. Using my Wasm 3D LLC can holder, holds the lids and my rings. They're right there and ready. Keep me organized as I can. I usually do small batch canning, and I think these are just gorgeous. They're beautiful to see on the shelf. They're lovely just to give as a gift to someone sick and they need a really quick meal. It's a great thing to hand over. Those layers just make me really, really happy looking at them in my pantry. This is the mentioned before Wasm 3D LLC 3D printed canning lid and ring organizer. I have them in gray. Here is their feature from their Etsy page. I think it is an amazing product with phenomenal customer support, and I encourage you to check them out. As mentioned before, I only water bath canning in true Rebel style, so my jars will be processed in my Ball water bath easy canner. To use these beautiful prepared jars, you simply need to think of it as the basis for a taco, tortilla, or quesadilla. Throw it in your lunch along with some fresh vegetables and cheese, and you have a homemade lunch, hearty, filling, and ready to go.